Hello everybody, this is Sherman. My purpose is to leave a legacy by positively impacting people. I want to focus this video on public speaking. It's one thing that I really enjoy doing, and so I just want to be able to shoot this video out there because I was talking to someone on Instagram Messenger. How this is probably an easier way to be able to disseminate this information is, number one, when it comes to public speaking, you need to know your material. So if you can have note cards and refer to them as you're giving your presentation, that's going to be very advantageous. Because oftentimes the reason why people get nervous when they're in front of a group of people is they don't really know their content. And so they end up trying to wing it when in reality for them, personality-wise, they need to see it visually. The other thing that you can actually do is use the room. So you either can stare at one person at a time as you pan the room left to right or right to left. Again, don't get too stuck on one person or they might get a little bit creeped out. At the same time, it's okay to have a little bit of eye contact. Now, that part might be a little bit difficult for people. That might send people into a little bit of anxiety because if you're engaging with someone eye to eye and they're not necessarily having that kind of attention to you, they might be looking at a cell phone, it might put you off. So what you can do is what's called using basically a room mnemonic. So basically what you're doing is you're looking at a pillar that's pretty close or a chair that's maybe empty, and what you do is you think about that note card that you have and you actually store information into that chair and you basically speak to that inanimate object. And then as I pan over, I might see a pillar in the back of the room and I speak then to that pillar, and it might be from a standpoint of, let's say, I first speak to the chair and it's introduction. So I just think about myself sitting in that chair. So then I basically address the chair, and now for all intents and purposes, if people are looking, all that they see is me just speaking to that area of the room. When they see me speaking to the pillar, they just see me speaking to the back of the room. As I pan maybe to the exit sign that's just overhead, again, they think that I'm then talking to that part of the room. And at the exit sign, maybe, or at the pillar, I might say, okay, I'm going to put the outline of my talk, and so I'm going to be able to. Let's say it's about like memorization, I'm going to put in that pillar something that's imagery, right? So I might put like a field goal and saying, okay, my goal of the conversation today is to talk about the agenda of being able to have a very solid public speaking presentation. Next is if I go to the exit sign, I'm going to talk about basically preparation. So I might have on there like a preparation H2 coming out of there. Maybe it's squirting the nice ointment. Sorry, this is a gross imagery. But nonetheless, when it's gross or it's like really outrageous, you're going to memorize the imagery better. You know what? I'll do another video just on memorization mnemonics. So what happens is then you end up then panning around the room, giving your presentation, and because you're speaking to these objects, it helps you avoid the eye contact with specific people that might reduce some of that that nervousness and that anxiety. The last thing that I would say is, in order to get really good at public speaking or more comfortable, is you gotta record yourself. Even something as simple as like recording yourself in like 10-minute segments on like Snapchat, I think will help people become more aware of what they're saying if they watch it back themselves. Oftentimes we're so used to just sending stuff out, we never have an opportunity to look back on it and say, hey, that was really good, or you know what, I really don't like what I said, or oh my gosh, I started biting my nails in the middle of a presentation. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Or I found for myself when I look back at video, I speak way too quickly, or I might even spit when I talk and I realize that that's because I speak too quickly. Hopefully this is of benefit to you. Have a fantastic day, everybody.